What up, dudes? Don't mind the air compressor in the background. We're working on a '06 Chevy HHR. This is going to work for quite a few years. We're doing the front brakes, some of the easiest brakes you can do. Let's get into it. 14 millimeter right here on the back of the caliper. First, take your tire off. 19 millimeter or 3/4 socket. Look at this. Ooh, it's on there. Tight. We're going to go ahead, take these off real quick. All right, that caliper came right off. Sometimes they're a little stiff. There's a little slot in this rotor you could stick this caliper, you could stick a screwdriver in, press back to kind of get the caliper off. This one came right off, no problem. It's real rusty. All right, so we already turned our caliper back in. Loosen your bleeder screw, let all that old nasty fluid out, or bleed it after you're done with everything. There's a little caliper turnback tool. It's a real cheap, like $5 one. I've got the heavy duty one back there. Didn't need it. This is just easier. That caliper should turn back like butter. If it doesn't, get a new caliper. Bleed it. All right. Now we're going to take these 15 millimeter bolts off of here. Make sure that these are nice and slippery slidey in, out, back and forth. What we're going to do is we're going to clean the old grease out of here and clean these off and put some fresh grease in there. I use AGS Sil Glide. It's my favorite type of brake lube. And once we get this mounting bracket off, we are going to clean up. See how much rust is right in there? Rust builds up in between these and freezes your pads in place. So make sure you take a wire brush, Dremel tool, something, and clean the caliper mounting bracket. If you're going to reuse your hardware, clean those up good. I buy premium pads with new hardware. And I put a little bit of grease in between the ear of the pad and the hardware, and in between the hardware and the mounting bracket, because we live up north. And that really helps it. You can see there's a lot of pad life still on these. The other side was grinding. So we're changing them in pairs, rotors and pads. Got our caliper mounting bracket all prepped up, greased up, cleaned up. Pads already in it. It's just easier to do it that way. Put the pads in it first. Caliper's all prepped up. If you don't have a caliper tool, use a big C-clamp. Just put the pad in between the piston and whatnot, or big old jaws. And now we just got to change the rotor. The rotor is in the package. Let's go grab it off, grab it, spray it down with some brake cleaner, get that shipping oil off of it. We're going to take our big hammer and hit the crap out of it, and it's going to pop right off of there. Can I do this with one hand? Not professionally, no. So check it out. Move this caliper out of the way. We don't want that caliper to fall down, hurt the hose, but whatever. We'll run it. All right, it's starting to come off. And basically, I need both my hands right now. I got to hit it from the other side. But yeah, it's going to come off. There we go. So we're going to take this rotor off, put the new rotor on, grab our mounting bracket right there, put it on the correct way, 15 millimeter bolts on the back, tighten them up real good. Mounting bracket's on nice and tight. We're going to push our rotor flat, put a lug nut on there just for now if you want, and squeeze our pads together. We're just going to slip our caliper. Make sure you don't got your hose twisted over the pads, and line them up with the holes. Now you see there's flat edges on these right here. You got to spin them the right way so that it fits into the flat spots here on the end of the caliper. Can't do that with one hand, so I'll do it off camera. So I'm going to spin these the correct way, put the bolts through, tighten them nice and good. Remember, they are real skinny bolts. Don't over tighten and snap them off, but make sure you got them in there tight enough. Once those are in, the job is done. You're going to want to bleed your brakes, put your tire back on, torque your lugs correctly, retorque them after 25, 50 miles, whatever. You know the drill. Then we're going to prime our brake pedal. Press that brake pedal in and out a bunch of times until that pedal gets firm. Don't be taking off until you do that. You're not going to have brakes until you pump it a few times. And that'll about do it. Any questions, comment below. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Don't forget to sub.